September 5, 1972. The Munich Olympics, a symbol of global unity and peace, was shattered. The world watched in horror as Palestinian terrorists from the Black September organization stormed the Olympic Village, taking 11 members of the Israeli team hostage. For 24 agonizing hours, the crisis unfolded live on television screens across the globe, but the hope for a peaceful resolution ended in bloodshed. A botched rescue attempt at Fürstenfeld, Bruck Air Base, resulted in the deaths of all 11 Israeli hostages, a West German police officer, and 5 of the 8 terrorists. The Olympic flame was extinguished, replaced by a fire of grief and rage that would soon ignite a secret war across continents. In the aftermath of the tragedy, the world mourned. Newspapers ran bold headlines of the massacre, and nations condemned the horrific act of terror. But for Israel, grief was not enough. Behind the closed doors of Mossad headquarters in Tel Aviv, a different kind of response was taking shape. Prime Minister Golda Meir, faced with an unprecedented attack on her people, made a clandestine decision. Justice would not be found in international courts or diplomatic channels. Justice would be delivered personally, swiftly, and lethally. She authorized one of the most audacious and controversial covert operations in history. Operation Wrath of God. A secret committee was formed, tasked with a single objective: to hunt down every individual connected to the Munich massacre, no matter where they hid. The mission was clear, but the execution would be extraordinarily complex. This wasn't a conventional war fought by armies on a battlefield. It was a war of shadows, waged by a hand-picked team of elite Mossad agents, known as Kidden, which means bayonet in Hebrew. These were not just soldiers. They were spies, assassins, masters of disguise, and experts in surveillance and infiltration. In secret briefing rooms, the plan was meticulously crafted. Maps were covered in red string, connecting names to locations across Europe and the Middle East. Target dossiers were compiled, detailing every aspect of their lives, their routines, their associates, their weaknesses. The agents themselves underwent intense preparation, studying languages, practicing tradecraft, and rehearsing every possible scenario. Forged passports were created, new identities were born, and a ghost army prepared to deploy. Their hunting ground was Europe. One by one, the agents slipped into the continent's bustling capitals: Paris, Rome, Athens. They arrived not as a unit, but as individuals, businessmen, tourists, students melting into the rhythm of daily life. They checked into nondescript hotels, rented quiet apartments, and began the patient, painstaking work of finding their targets. The streets became their office. From shadowy alleyways and crowded cafes, they watched and they waited. They tailed their marks through winding city streets, capturing their movements with hidden cameras and documenting every meeting, every phone call. Communication was a carefully choreographed dance of coded messages, dead drops, and brief, untraceable encounters. The agents lived on a knife's edge, knowing a single mistake could expose the entire operation. After weeks of relentless surveillance, the first target was confirmed. Was a PLO representative living in Rome. Mossad intelligence identified him as a key figure in the Black September network. On the night of October 16, 1972, the team moved in. The operation was a model of lethal efficiency. As Whiter returned to his apartment building, 2 agents were waiting in the dimly lit lobby. They confronted him, and seconds later, the first name was crossed off the list. The hit was precise, professional, and left almost no trace. The team vanished back into the shadows as quickly as they had emerged, leaving the Italian police baffled. The assassination sent shockwaves across Europe and the Arab world. News headlines screamed of a mysterious killing in Rome. While no one officially claimed responsibility, the message was unmistakable. A ghost hunt had begun. Intelligence agencies from Paris to Washington, D.C. scrambled to understand who was behind the string of targeted killings that would soon follow. Diplomats held urgent meetings, but publicly, governments remained silent, unwilling to get caught in the crossfire of this undeclared war. For the Black September leadership, a chilling realization set in. They were no longer the hunters, but the hunt, and there was nowhere to hide. The chase intensified, becoming a deadly game of cat and mouse across the continent. The Mossad teams, known as Caesarea units, moved with speed and precision, striking and then disappearing. In Paris, Dr. Mahoud Hamshari, the PLO representative in France, answered his phone. A voice on the other end confirmed his identity, and a bomb planted in the telephone receiver was detonated remotely. In Cyprus, a car bomb killed Hussein al-Bashir. In Beirut, a daring commando raid, codenamed Operation Spring of Youth, took out 3 high-level PLO leaders in a single night. But the hunt was not without its risks. The agents lived under constant threat of discovery, frequently changing safe houses, rotating identities, and staying one step ahead of both local police and enemy operatives. Close calls became part of the job, but the relentless pursuit would lead to a tragic and infamous mistake. In July 1973, in the quiet town of Lillehammer, Norway, the Mossad team misidentified their target. They had been tracking Ali Hassan Salameh, the charismatic and elusive mastermind of the Munich attack, known as the Red Prince. Instead, they assassinated Ahmed Bouchiki, an innocent Moroccan waiter who bore a passing resemblance to their mark. The fallout was immediate. Several members of the Mossad team were captured by Norwegian authorities, exposing the secret operation to the world and causing a major international incident. The mistake was a devastating blow to Mossad's reputation for infallibility and forced a temporary halt to the operation. After the Lillehammer affair, the operation was put on hold, but the mission was not abandoned. The hunt for Ali Hassan Salameh, the Red Prince, became an obsession. For years, he evaded Mossad's grasp, a ghost who always seemed to be one step ahead. Finally, in 1979, intelligence pinpointed his location in Beirut. Mossad activated a new agent, a woman posing as a British painter who rented an apartment with a view of Salameh's daily route. For weeks, she watched and sketched, patiently waiting for the perfect moment. On January 22, 1979, as Salameh's convoy passed her street, she signaled the team. A massive car bomb was detonated, ending the long and bloody hunt for the Munich mastermind. Operation Wrath of God officially spanned nearly 2 decades. While its exact death toll remains debated, it is believed to have eliminated most of the key figures responsible for the Munich massacre. The agents who carried out these missions, their names and faces forever shielded by layers of secrecy, faded back into their anonymous lives. The case files were closed and sealed away in the archives of Mossad, a silent testament to a brutal chapter in the history of espionage. The operation remains one of the most controversial and debated counter-terrorism campaigns ever conducted. A stark reminder that in the world of spies and shadows, the line between justice and vengeance can be perilously thin. Thanks for watching, and if you found this story compelling, don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into history's most secret operations.